And they'll still be
and Mark runs
accurate.
in the room and turns off the Beach Boys that we were
Turns off the
listening
Beach
to.
Boys. We were grooving to the Beach
yeah,
Boys,
we were
man.
listening to the Beach Boys.
On Freaky Activist Friday here, with all kinds of things going on. Hi, Tom Trento. Mark's so light on his feet, as you can see.
Like the wind, like the wind.
Yeah. Float like a butterfly.
Sting like a bee.
Yeah. Crash like an elephant. Like a walking dead. Hi, Mike. What are you doing?
Scratch my foot.
Oh, good. We do everything here at TrentoVision.tv. WNN, it is the 21st, 12, 21, 12. You reverse all those numbers, and you got 16. You divide 16 in half. You add 3. You got that. It's the end of the world. That's the way it works with the Mayan calendar.
Yeah, we need that
If you
song,
know
It's
that.
the End of the World as
It's
we
in the
know
world.
it, and I
Oh,
feel
yeah,
fine.
Barry,
No,
Barry, whatever.
That's, REM. You're thinking.
Yeah.
Oh, the
No,
REM
I'm thinking
one.
of the REM one.
Yeah, put that on in the background while
Yeah,
we're talking.
REM.
But only 4.3 seconds, or we get sued by everybody in the world.
I don't think REM would sue us.
I don't think so.
House cap would.
What does REM stand for? I did look that up once.
Rapid eye movement.
Oh, right.
Yep.
That's right. And anyway, we will have rapid eye movement on this show for the next 3 hours, and rapid ear movement, and we will rapidly move your brain also. We got a lot of stuff planned for you.
Lots of stuff.
Lots of stuff. We are broadcasting every day, WNN 1470 out of Boca Raton, Florida, on the Beasley Broadcasting Corporation tower. We're in the tower up here. Oh, Bob
the
came
Boca
in.
Beeb.
Bob is one of these guys that's like a little OCD. You know, everything's got to be neat and in place. He saw that the Venetian blinds were just a little bit off. He had to come in. He spent 45 minutes adjusting the Venetian blind, just getting it just right. Somebody go make that thing go up. I need to look
I love
outside.
the service at this hotel.
Yeah. Yes. And the candy walking in is good. So,
Yeah.
All right, well, we got a lot going on. TrentoVision.tv on the TV side. What do I mean by that? Can you go to your television and turn this on? Well, eventually. But right now you got to go to your computer, which is better than your television because you can carry it around with you. Try doing that with a television, okay? That's a little hard. Go to your computer, TrentoVision.tv. Sit down, and we are music for your eyes and visuals for your ears, or whatever Mort says. But
What is that thing that he said?
I know it's pretty good what he says and does. That's what we do on the video side. We're simulcasting. If you were to land at the Boca Raton private airport, get in a limo, take a 5-minute ride to here, and come in here, you'd see a little camera right there.
Or you could take the TUW
Learjet
in the limo, and then right over here to the car.
I got the air conditioner fixed, so the limo has air conditioning now, and the door works, so you can actually get in on the driver's side. We are stepping up. But on the radio side, we're broadcasting from North Miami to Fort Pierce, and then a little inland up to Kissimmee. And if you're serious about listening to us, and you should if you want to know anything about what's going on with President Obama, and we are no friend of President Obama, so shut your cameras off and your TVs off and all of that if you're a good friend of Obama, or if you have an open mind, listen to what we say. Think about it. But we found that when we speak to the liberals on the left, there's about 3 minutes of talk time before their brains start to shut down, their eyes start to wobble in their head. They've gone off the talking points, and they're in argument mode. Have you guys noticed that?
Never, Tom.
Never.
It never happens. They're so logical and so rational and so poignant with their arguments. It blows me away sometimes. I'm thinking about becoming liberal. So.
Let's have.
In fact, they're liable to whip out a notepad and start drawing Venn diagrams to illustrate their points while they're talking to you.
But if any of you would like to engage on anything we discuss on national security, on Obama, or whatever, on Islamic jihad, we got a lot of that this hour. Let me tell you, we got a key guy coming in here in a few minutes. 888-565-1470. 888-565-1470. That's the call-in number. If you are looking at us on the computer, TrentoVision, Type in the code X4371119, and you can talk right into your computer to us, okay? Try that out, and we have new software that makes that happen. Or you can get your iPhone and download iHeartRadio, and you can do that too.
iHeartRadio. It is so easy. I can do it.
Now, people say, how are you guys on the air 3 hours a day? What are we on? 3 to 6, 5 days a week, 15 hours of broadcasting. First of all, who can talk for 15 hours?
You can.
I can. I can easily talk for 15 hours. But you guys help. Are you kidding me?
Well, you have to cough sometime.
Yes, I know. I can do that. These guys took the show over, stole my show yesterday while I was being healthily examined. Digitally examined.
Oh.
My 15 minutes of fame
Don't
is
scorch
totally
our
over.
corneas with the imagery.
I did pay you guys for 15 minutes yesterday until the overlord came back in here and shut down all my Obama funding plan.
That's right. Speaking of funding, how do we stay on the air? Well, we stay on a couple of ways. We have people that support us on the commercial side, and we have people that support us on the donation side. So if you're jiggy with our message, which is saving America, defending the Constitution, saving the state of Israel, fighting Islamic Jihad, if you're not, oh God, where are you? But then half the country's not with us on this stuff. If you're there and you're feeling extra giving at Christmas time, gifts, giving, you get it? Giving, gifts. Giving. If you're in a giving mood, go to Trento Vision.
Yikes.
He almost just fell. Go to TrentoVision.tv and you can donate securely, tax deductible. We take all size
End of
checks.
year tax break.
What we're really looking for, so there's some stability in our revenue stream. We're looking for people to make an $18 commitment. $18. I said it the other day. What do you get for $18 nowadays? I mean, if you go to Starbucks, you'll get a venti latte for about $18. If Obama keeps going the direction he's going, gasoline's going to be $18. So put that $18 per month to use. Go to TrentoVision.tv, hit donate securely. You'll come to a little place. It'll say, do you want to donate 18? Put your credit card in there. And you can donate to keep us rocking and rolling, making life difficult for President Obama.
Oh, he doesn't even know we're here yet.
Yeah, making life difficult for the Islamic jihadis.
Now that we're doing.
And making life wonderful for those who believe in that Constitution of the United States. Two quick stories before we get to our special guest. I go to the gym in the mornings, jump in my car, go to the gym. Well, I have a neighbor, asked if I could take their kid to school this morning. I said, sure, no problem. So I drove to the school and you drive up now these lines, and they go through like a little circular driveway to the front door. And I dropped off a little girl, and there were these little kids, first and second graders, running around laughing and smiling. And as I was pulling out, it just hit me that it's 7 days to Newtown, Connecticut shooting, and it just hit me that a week ago, the exact time when I was driving this morning, about 7:30, a week ago, parents were dropping off their kids, and you see the life and the wonder and excitement in the eyes of these little kids, and a bunch of them aren't with us now, but there's still our parents up there with other kids they got to drop off. I don't know how they can make that little drive, stop and let one of their two kids out of the car. That hit me this morning, and it was just like, oh, man, crazy. We're going to deal with that issue in our second or third hour. The other item for today, third hour stuff, is John Hammer, The president got our message, I guess. John Hammer, the Marine in Cetus Prison down in Mexico, is being released today. Don't anybody, start popping champagne. Wait until he's out of that nasty town. And once he's out of there, let's see what that says. Once he's out of there, then we'll start celebrating. But it looks like couple of things happened. Bill O'Reilly, Fox was on it heavily. Bill O'Reilly got on it pretty heavily. And we got on it, made some noise, and we have a little impact in the state of Florida, and that's where he lives, John Hammer. He lives just south of Miami. Lives in Palmetto Bay, a little community just south of Coconut Grove in Miami, about 45 minutes from here. And then a couple of Republican congressmen yesterday said, you know what? Mexico, guess what? Let's boycott travel and vacation and tourism to Mexico. That would have caught on like wildfire, right? Once they said that, all of a sudden,
we're peace free.
We have a judge that may be able to free him, right? They rely so much on our money. Very good news there. Sad day still in Newtown.
Now, I think they heard me say yesterday we're going to send all the illegals back. We're going to send all the illegals back.
Yes, that would have been.
We'll send you back 11 million illegal Mexicans, and then you can feed and house them along with John Hammer.
And also, and I thought it was quite interesting. Had zero of the liberal media picked up on this story. It was. I mean, I think Anderson Cooper's the only one who had him on for like one segment, but other than that, there was dead silence on the left on this issue. Why was that? Can you?
Yeah, I know exactly why. He's a Marine, right? The liberals hate the military.
Yeah.
And I'm a liberal and I don't hate the military. Yeah, your actions do, your votes do, you do. And that's a general categorization. But if there's 100 liberals, 98 of them hate the military. Okay, they hate it either overtly or in behavior and practice, number one. Number two, there was nothing good for President Obama on this. He was quiet on it, and if he said anything and they couldn't get him out, it shows the impotence of the president. He didn't raise his head on it because, he doesn't really care that much, it looks like. Just bad situation all the way around.
I did hear one of the reports coming from down there that the Mexican government was highly upset about the guns that were being run.
Fast and furious, yeah.
Maybe he didn't want that coming out anymore either.
Yeah, Mexico, it's such a failed state, but we'll have to do that another time. But on the John Hammer story, which I think is very important, and on the Newtown story, very important, with the NRA had a press conference today.
Right.
I didn't.
That was fabulous.
Did you see it?
Yeah.
I only saw a little bit,
fabulous.
But we will comment on it a little later.
Yeah.
Absolutely fabulous. What he was saying. He goes. We have the military, and only, you want to have bad people with guns are only countered with good people with guns, and he really came out and just nailed them all. He says.
Hold it for later, because it sounds like it's involved a bit. I didn't see it, but it sounds pretty interesting.
Yeah, I'm bringing up the transcript of it.
The little piece I saw was somehow enlisting, I guess, retired military and law enforcement to become sort of a vanguard for schools, soming like that. That would be, if that wasn't what I saw, that would be a good idea.
Well,
actually.
What people have to realize.
There's a really good quote in here.
If you realize that we have to wake up to reality, what reality is now. If you're not going to deal with the Islamic problem on a real way, then you're going to have to put people in the schools. If you're going
we're going to deal with the Islamic problem in a very real way because we have a special guest calling in from overseas. We won't reveal where the special guest is. He needs to stay incognito. We put an email out today that went all over the world. And I put his picture on the email. I think he'll be okay, though, because it was a silhouette of a human being. Kind of hard to make out any features. It wasn't actually his picture. It was just a silhouette. But the individual that we're going to introduce and bring on right now is, and we'll let him explain a little bit about himself. But generally, for our audience, he is an Iraqi born in Iraq. He is a native Arabic-speaking Iraqi. He reads, writes, speaks, understands classic Arabic, which is very important to some people when you're fighting Islamic Jihad ideology and authoritative doctrines. And he's in exile from Iraq. He's in hiding right now. And it's bizarre because all he really does is unveil Islam. He criticizes Islam on factual, logical basis, and people threaten his life for that.
I'm
so
shocked.
please, everybody here, welcome a very brave individual who's committed his life to trying to communicate the truth about Islam, Islamic Jihad, Sharia Islam. Welcome, IQ Al-Rasoli. Hello, IQ.
Hi, Tom.
How are you today?
Glad you're having me on your show.
Very glad to have you, sir. And
I can hear.
You are with myself. You're with CJ, Mark, Mike, the four of us in here, and we are ready to sit down and have a great conversation with you. Let's start by you telling the audience a little bit about yourself, who you are, what you do, and then we'll go from there.
Well, I grew up in Iraq. My family was very secular, which helped an enormous amount because my father loves reading English books, and he used to import from America and from England. And he used to enjoy classical music, which is completely out, at odds with the culture in the Middle East. So I grew up imbibed with these things. Now, in the Middle East, you don't have the freedom of speech or the freedom of thought or the freedom of reading the books that you want to read. So when I went to Europe to study, I was sent to study engineering, in fact, and I was able to access information. And what puzzled me was, the items that were written in the Quran about the Bible. I wanted to make sure that they are the same. So I borrowed a Bible from the library, and I was comparing and contrasting, and nothing matched whatsoever. Well, this process continued now for the last 30 years. I've been researching this subject for 30 years, not only just the Quran. I studied the New Testament, I studied the Hebrew Bible, Hinduism, I studied the history of the Middle East, the Arab-Israeli conflict, so I have a very, very wide background. When I say these things, some people say that I'm boasting. Well, the proof of the pudding, as the English would say, is in eating it. I have over $1 million worth of challenges to every human being on the planet to disprove me.
Whoa, wait, IQ, what did you just say about $1 million?
Over $1 million worth of challenges for 4 years, and not a dime has been taken from me.
What do you mean by challenges? What is a challenge?
Well, take an example. The Muslims say that hijab, that's the covering of a woman, or the head covering of the woman, is mandated in the Quran. I say I'll pay $100,000 to the first human being who can show us the word hijab in the Quran, denoting the covering of a woman in any way, shape, or form. Well, it doesn't exist there.
Okay, so
it doesn't exist in their religion.
So you put out these challenges. You put out 100,000 here, 100,000 there on these different issues, and we'll get into some of them.
Over 1 million.
So over $1 million. Oh boy. Okay, yeah. Interesting. Go ahead, keep going.
Well, I would like to give some kind of synopsis on the Islam to most Americans who don't really know what the hell they're hearing from the media. Most decent, law-abiding Western citizens find it almost impossible to accept that a religion called Islam can be evil or vile. If Islam were a religion, then they would most probably be correct. But Islam is not a religion. Islam, Muhammadan style, is a cult belief system, the cult of Muhammad, which is founded on two pillars, Muhammad's Quran and Muhammad's Sunnah. Sunnah means traditions. They are the foundations of Sharia. As objectionable as the following statements I'll make to the mostly witless and ignorant politically correct people, Muhammad, his Quran, his Sunnah, Sharia, and his fundamentalist followers are hate-mongering, war-mongering, misogynist, racist, mendacious, disloyal, vile, and is truly ungodly. Anyone disagreeing with the above should at least have the decency to find fault with my statements based on knowledge before condemning me. Ladies and gentlemen, calling Islam peaceful or a religion rank as one of the most egregious lies that has ever been insinuated into the human consciousness. If you want to interrupt me, please interrupt me anytime.
Well, I have a real quick question.
Well, this is Mark now. There's three of us here, so we'll let you know who's asking the question. Mark has a question.
You brought up the term racist, and I've been preaching that the groups that follow Islam are patent Jew-hating racist. And the argument I get back all the time is, well, Islam is not a race. And I go, I know that. You know that. But what I'm saying is that they believe Islam is a race. Is that correct, me saying that?
No, Islam is not a race. It can't be a race because anybody who follows Muhammad from any racial group, from any color, from any tradition, from any culture, it can't be a race. It's a belief system. It can't be a race. By the way, Islam is not racist because they hate the Jews. Islam is racist because they hate any human being who is not a follower of Muhammad. Let me put it in context.
Okay.
Today, as I'm speaking to you, 80% of the humanity are not Muslim. Only 20%, 1,500 million, in 57 Muslim majority states. We, the 80%, the so-called unbelievers, the kuffar, al-kafirun, have three choices under Sharia. One, to convert to Islam whether we like it or not. Two, to submit to Islam in degradation and humiliation forever, or to be exterminated. Now, these are facts. This is Sharia. No human being can come against me and tell me it's wrong. No human being can come against me and tell me I misunderstood it. Well, it's my language. How could I possibly misunderstand it? Most people would not believe what I'm saying, and rightly so, until and unless I prove it to them by quoting verbatim from Muhammad's Quran in chapter and verse. May I do so?
Sure, yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay. Al-Tawbah is the name of a chapter, chapter 9, verse 29. So I'm giving you the chapter and verse. Anybody can Google it and check it. It says, 5, قَاتِلُوا, those who believe not in Allah nor the last day, nor hold that forbidden, which has been forbidden by Allah and His Apostle Muhammad, nor acknowledge the religion of truth, Islam, even if they are of the people of the book, that is Christians and Jews, until they pay the jizya. Now the jizya is an onerous tax for not being a Muslim. And they have to pay it with willing submission and feel themselves humiliated. This is in the Quran. I'm quoting it verbatim.
You're reading what version Quran? Because I know there's a different version.
There are no differences in the Quran. There is only one Quran, and the Shia and the Sunnah read exactly the same book.
Now, does that have an Arabic script in it? The one you're reading?
Yes.
Can you read it?
It doesn't matter. I mean, even without Arabic,
but
they can translate it to German, to
French, to
Italian.
I don't know for a fact that, and I guess you can fool us, but read the Arabic script for a second of that verse.
I mean, it doesn't mean anything to you.
No, I know, but we have.
I can read the whole of the Quran in Arabic.
But we have Arabic.
The point is,
we have Arabic.
With all due respect,
IQ. We have Arabic-speaking people that follow our show, and I'm establishing that you actually are conversing with the language.
Fair enough. That's okay. قاتل الذين لا يؤمنون بالله ولا باليوم الآخر ولا يحرمون ما حرم الله ورسوله ولا يدينون دين الحق من الذين أوتوا الكتاب حتى يعطوا الجزية عن يد وهم صاغرون.
Okay, we're going to have to do a station identification now.
The third word I disagree with him on the third word and the actual translation of that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, you better identify
it is 27 minutes.
Please.
Yeah, the people tuning in may be going, what is this? We got Muslim
I don't want people
TV
thinking
going
we got
on.
the wrong radio station.
Hey,
here.
you're with Tom Trento, TrentoVision.tv, WNN 1470 in Boca Raton, Florida, and it is 28 minutes past 3 o'clock on the 21st of December, a beautiful day. What we're doing this first hour, we have IQ Al-Rasali. He is an Iraqi in exile, born and raised in Iraq. He's in exile now, and he has become an expert on the analysis of Islam. And he has become somewhat of a controversial figure worldwide with his writings. He cannot reveal himself because, we'll get into some of this, some folks don't like him. But, we're a freewheeling radio show here. We'll listen to all points of view and analyze this stuff. And the way we do that is we have good folks like BizPack Review as partners, friends with us. BizPack Review is a very conservative amalgamation of news, liberal news, conservative news, middle-of-the-road news, put together. It's aggregated. People go through a bunch of material and then list the best stories of the day for people that need to know what's in the know. If you need to know what's in the know, go to bizpackreview.com. They are quickly approaching overrunning the Palm Beach Post as the news source for people in Palm Beach County. So that's excellent. BizPack Review, we thank them for all they do.
Yeah.
And let's get back to what do I call you? IQ? Is that okay?
Perfect.
Okay. What does that mean? I mean,
everybody is asking the same question. Now, IQ is an intelligent quotient. That's one of them. I shall reveal the IQ in reality when I go on television, and only when I go on television.
Okay.
Because I'll be shocking the Muslim world to its core. I know it sounds like a brag, but unfortunately, it's not a brag.
It sounds pretty interesting. Well, First of all, I should say that
maybe he can reveal himself on our show.
Yeah, this isn't. This isn't, like, oh, you go through a list. Let's have IQ on today. I've known about IQ for many years.
Yeah.
Read his work, his material,
yeah.
And he's for real, as you'll see on this show. And if somebody wants to jump in and give us a call and ask IQ questions, it's 888-565-1470. Let's. Why don't we start out, because one of the big complaints about you is that you hate all Muslims worldwide, and you have a vendetta against Muslims, and that's why you do all this stuff. Let's deal with that, okay?
That's really funny. Why would revealing the facts and the truth about Islam make it hate? Now, if somebody is revealing the facts about Mein Kampf, Hitler's book, does that make them an anti-German? The answer is no. All I'm doing, I'm telling the world what it really says, not what the Muslims tell us it says, because they use taqiyya, which is subterfuge, which is silent jihad, as they say, or what the politically correct also say, who have absolutely no idea about the subject. None. There is not a single human being who is a politically correct person has any idea what the Quran is all about and the Hadith. Now, I quoted to you just now a verse.
Right.
I would like to make sure people understand what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Just to make sure that the listeners would believe what I'm saying. I would like to put forth a challenge worth $100,000 to the first person who can show us all one single operative verse in Muhammad's Quran that demonstrates any compassion and mercy to all unbelievers. Currently, unbelievers are 80% of humanity, all Christians, Buddhists, Hindus, Jews, atheists, agnostics. That is each and every one who is not a Muslim. Here, I'm giving $100,000 for one verse.
All right, now let's say somebody called up and was able to do that. You say they can't, but let's just say they can.
I will pay him the $100,000. I have no choice. But let him show me. Not only me, he's going to show it to you. He's going to show it to all our listeners.
Right. And I'm sure, because I've seen some of your work. You've worked out a mechanism for transferring the money, all of that, not just some vain boasting.
No,
but
it's not vain. I can't afford to be a boastful person without facts backing me up. I can't afford that.
All right, hang on. We got
50 years of my life to be defeated.
All right, hang on. We got we're just getting into this here, and let's bring one on, CJ. Who do you want to bring on first?
Okay, first up we have Andy on the line. Andy, are you there?
Yes, I am. Thank you.
Hi, Andy. Where are you calling from?
California.
California.
Okay, Andy, you're on with Tom, CJ, Mark, and IQ coming from an undisclosed location.
Thank you.
And your question?
First, I'd like to compliment IQ in being a man of the truth. Something that we haven't seen in the United States in our intellectual community. He says Islam is not a religion. Islam is definitely not a religion. Anyone who has ever read the Quran will attest to that. There's no person who, with intellectual honesty, that will read the Quran and then call Islam a religion. We are being defeated because of that. And so my greatest respect to IQ for being a man of honesty who's saying that Islam is not a religion. And I would recommend to anyone, do not bet against IQ. You will lose $100,000. IQ is, there's nothing been more true than what's said in the Quran, that it's a book of vile hatred, and anyone with a junior high school average intelligence can understand that. So I want to ask IQ, what can we do about this cowardly American intellectual community that more or less just says Islam is perfect?
Unfortunately, the only thing we can do is what this talk show is doing. Because most of the media in Europe and America is run by liberals. I mean, this is a fact. This is not a, I don't say these things because I'm a Republican or a Democrat. I'm not even an American. I say this because these are the facts of life. In Europe, for the last 65 years, in America for the last 65 years, new generations, generation after generation of students have been indoctrinated falsely. Not only indoctrinated falsely about Islam, but they removed them away from God. That's so much so that many Americans don't even have any idea how important the American Constitution is. Your Constitution is one of the best documents that has ever been created by the human mind. And yet Americans do not appreciate that. Why? Because the media is damaging it all the time. The media is going against it all the time. Obama, Hillary Clinton, they are the criminals.
Yeah, I don't think it's just. I don't think it's just the media. I think it's the school system, and now it's.
Correct. The academia is the same.
Yeah.
The academia is exactly the same. In Europe, it's exactly the same.
Yeah.
People who speak against, they don't speak against Islam, by the way. I don't speak against Islam. I'm saying what Islam is saying.
Right.
I'm just telling you what it is. That's not against.
Right.
But anybody who reveals the facts about Islam in Europe, they're being shot. They are being incarcerated.
They're being jailed for hate crimes.
Well, it's not hate. The greatest hate crime is from Islam. I'm telling you, 80% of humanity is treated as animals. We are animals. From the point of view of Sharia, any unbeliever is just an animal to be raped, to be degraded, to be humiliated, or to be killed.
Yeah, this is Tom.
Can I make myself clear?
Yeah, IQ.
Yeah, thank you for the call, Andy.
Yeah, thanks, Andy. IQ.
Thank you, Andy. Really, thank you very much.
This is Tom again, and our group, the United West, does a lot of work on the Sharia, and I've worked with a group of people that have put together a book, Sharia: The Threat to America. So I could not agree more that the Sharia, and we said the Sharia, the name of the book is The Sharia is the Threat to America. What about a Muslim? We got somebody else. We'll bring them on in a second. But what about a Muslim who says, I grew up a Muslim. The Sharia stuff, I don't want it. I want to go to America. I want to go to Disneyland. I want to kind of still feel like a Muslim, the culture, but I don't want to follow the Sharia. What's the deal with somebody like that?
Well, I'm going to tell you something that will shock you. No Muslim can call himself a Muslim if he doesn't follow Sharia. Every Muslim in the United States, in Europe, in India, in China, any Muslim who says, I'm a believer in Islam, outside Dar al-Islam, which is the territory of the Muslims, can only be either a traitor in waiting or a traitor in action. I have challenged CAIR, C-A-I-R. I have also challenged the Islamic Council in America and in Europe to come against me, to disprove me. Not once would they come against me. Every believing Muslim can only be a traitor. Why? Simple. I just told you why. They cannot accept the American Constitution because it is man-made. Sharia demands only what Allah gave them, which is the Quran and Muhammad's Sunnah. They cannot be loyal to the American people. Let me tell you how. Al-Ma'idah, chapter 5, verse 51. I'll tell you what it says. O ye who believe, Muslims, take not the Jews, Yahud, and the Christians, Nasara, that's in Arabic, for your friends and protectors. They are but friends and protectors to each other. And he amongst you that turns to them for friendship is of them. Let me explain it. For those who may not understand the implications of this verse, it tells the followers of Muhammad that if and when any of them actually befriend a Christian or a Jew or a Buddhist or a Hindu, they automatically become apostate, i.e. outside the faith of Islam. And hence, subject to death and destruction, just like any other unbeliever.
All right, CJ has a question. You just used the word apostate, which we call apostate. It's the same thing. And CJ has a question for you, IQ, and then we'll get to Vito.
Are apostates considered traitors, or what's the difference between a traitor and an apostate, if there is one, and what is the punishment for being a traitor or an apostate?
An apostate is anyone who grew up in a Muslim state and got out of it. Let's say he wanted to become a Christian, or he wanted to be a Buddhist, or he didn't want to be anything. He doesn't want to be a follower of Muhammad.
Right.
His penalty is death. And do you know who will kill him? His family and friends.
Do they...
With so much love, they will kill him.
Do these... so this does not apply to people who are born and raised outside of Muslim states?
No. We are kuffar. We are kuffar. That we are unbelievers. We are infidels. We, as I said, they don't have to kill us, but they can rape us, they can plunder us, they can murder us if and when they want.
But what about Muslims who are born...
Respect, I know it sounds obscene what I'm saying. I know. Believe me, I know.
What about Muslims who are...
From somebody else... Sorry, if I heard the same thing from somebody else without knowing the background,
right,
I would say this guy is crazy. I would say IQ is a racist. He's stupid. He doesn't know what he's talking about. But believe me, I'm neither stupid nor crazy. And I know exactly what I'm talking about. And that is why not a single Muslim in the last 10 years has come against me to debase me. Back to you.
Vito, let's bring Vito.
Yeah, what I'm trying to figure out here, what you said at the beginning was, you said Muslims from Muslim states. So does that mean that Muslims born like in America or Canada or something like that can't be apostates because they weren't born in Muslim states?
No. I meant a state in Islam. He was born a Muslim.
Oh,
Doesn't
okay.
matter whether he was born in America, Russia, or China.
Oh, okay.
He was born in a family which is Muslim.
Okay, so he doesn't have to be in a Sharia country.
Yeah. No,
Okay.
it doesn't have to be a Sharia country. Doesn't
Okay.
matter.
Okay.
The fact that he was born in a family which is Islamic,
Okay.
and then he decided to get out of it, his penalty is definitely death.
Like Obama.
Oh, don't go there. Don't do that.
Obama,
No, don't.
Obama,
don't
by
do
the way,
that.
Obama is not a Christian. Do me a favor, please.
Yeah.
No, we'll talk about it. Hold him for later because we want
Yeah.
to take a look at that. But let's get
Yeah.
the next caller in.
Yeah, the next caller we have is Vito. Vito is on the line.
Hey, good afternoon. Hey, Tom, CJ.
Hi, Vito.
How you
Where
doing,
are you calling
Vito?
from?
Good. I'm calling from Central Florida.
Central Florida.
We went from California to Central Florida. Need somebody in North Dakota and then down to Mexico. No Mexicans. No Mexicans
well,
allowed.
Unless they have good news to tell
Unless
us,
John
like they
Hammer
saw
gets out,
somebody
yes.
get on a plane.
Hi, Vito. What's your question for IQ?
Mama Mia no Sharia.
Yeah, that's right.
The biggest dawah that, by imams in America is that we pray to the same God. And when I read the Quran, chapter 25, verse 2, it says Allah did not take a son. So IQ is, in your opinion, do Muslims pray to the same God as Judeo-Christians do?
Of course not. 100% not. Allah is most definitely not the same as the God of Jesus. Moses. 100,000%. I can give you $100,000 if you can prove me wrong.
He really wants to give away this money, doesn't he?
Come on, somebody, let's prove
Somebody
it wrong.
take his
I
money.
want to try. I want to
In
try.
my contribution
Let these two
in revealing Islam. $100,000. I'll tell you why. Simple. In less than 60 seconds, I can describe Muhammad and his Quran in less than 60 seconds. I'll tell you why. In several verses in the Quran, I'm not going to repeat them now, but I'm just giving you the background. In several verses of the Quran, Allah says to Muhammad that He, Allah, revealed the Gospels to Jesus. And He, Allah, revealed the Torah, which is the 5 books of Moses, to Moses. Are you with me so far?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. This is perfect. It says Allah revealed the Gospels to Jesus and Allah revealed the Torah to Moses. But then you have a verse which says that Jesus did not die on the cross, a look-alike died on the cross. And that Jesus is not the Son of God. Now, this is the dilemma for the Muslims. I'm asking a Muslim. If Allah says that He revealed the Gospels to Jesus, and anybody who knows about the Gospels knows that nobody ever revealed the Gospels to Jesus because they were written 50 to 150 years after He was dead. But let us assume, for argument's sake, that Allah did reveal the Gospels to Jesus. All 4 Gospels say Jesus died on the cross. So how could Allah in another verse say He did not die on the cross? End of conversation. Allah is not God.
Well, the answer, well, Vito, you continue with your question, and then, or did he answer? Do you have another one? Or?
No, he answered it perfectly. That's the whole thing. And there's several sections in the Quran that say that Jesus is not the Son of God, and Allah did not take a son. That tells me that we pray to different gods. So their dawah is totally incorrect by the devout imams, Islamic imams in the United States. They're performing dawah, and they're lying to the American people.
Hey, Vito, you have any friends that are Muslims up in Central Florida? I know there's quite a few.
I do.
And are they, Sharia practicing, or what is their profile like? What's a Western Muslim's profile like from your experience?
Well, it's kind of interesting how they do profess that Hamas and Hezbollah are freedom fighters, and yet they engage in gambling and alcohol, but then profess to be devout Muslims. And I find that a bit hypocritical. But then I have others who are professionals, and the Quran is their constitution, and they believe in peace. But Quran...
They can't believe in peace. With all due respect, let me explain something to you. They have a mandate from Allah. It's called taqiyya. Taqiyya is Islamic religious subterfuge. What does it mean? That a Muslim in America, when the Muslims are, let's say, 1%, 2%, 3% of the population, which is not a majority, or an important number, they can practice taqiyya, which means they can sit with a Christian, drink with a Christian, which is not allowed, eat pork with a Christian, which is not allowed, for as long as in their heart of heart, which is in their mind, are they going to deceive you. I don't say these things flippantly. These are facts. Google taqiyya and find out if I'm telling you a lie. Impossible. Taqiyya is exactly what it is. They pretend to be peaceful. They would pretend to be part and parcel of the American dream. Not true. The minute they are a substantial number, 8% to 10% of the population, they demand Sharia. That is what's happening in Europe. That is exactly what's happening in Europe. In many cities in Europe today, the police, the ambulance, and the fire brigade cannot go in. White people cannot go in. Christian people cannot go in. By the way, you have the same problem in Detroit.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah, in Dearborn. Yeah, we...
so you know. I also know.
Several of us...
subject, so I have to know.
Several of us in this room right here, right now at the studio, have been to some of those European countries and actually been to those areas and been at the edge of them. And, we knew we could not go in the banlieue areas and in Paris or some of the other areas throughout Europe. That's for sure. All right, Vito, thank you for calling. And,
Thank you, Vito. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Vito.
All right, this is
Great questions. Great
this
questions.
is Tom
Yeah, that's
Trento,
really good.
Trento Vision. It's 48 minutes
Good
past 3
observations.
o'clock on the East Coast. For a friend Andy who called earlier, it's only 48 minutes past 12 o'clock. They have a longer day than we do. How about that? For all of our good friends in Europe and Paris and Israel and the Netherlands and Germany and all of that, it's what, 6 hours later. It's, I guess, 9:48. Interesting how it's different times in different parts of the world. Isn't
So
that
when
interesting?
does the world end if everybody's on a different time?
Oh, I guess it would be the last country, the one furthest to the left, I guess, at 12 o'clock tonight, I guess. Maybe, who knows. But in any event.
Where's the party? I'm trying to trick you.
You're on
out.
WNN 1470. We're broadcasting out of Boca Raton on the 21st, 4 days till Christmas. And we're going to do a quick weather report here.
Oh.
It is 74 degrees inside our studio. It's always 74 degrees inside our studio.
No, not always.
CJ, what is the... What is, man, the birds are, the wind is blowing out there.
Okay, wow. It's really, really nice. It is sunny and 66 degrees in beautiful
Ooh.
downtown Boca Raton.
cold
But I have
front.
to tell you that the high today is going to be 64 degrees and the low is going
No,
to
it
be
isn't.
43.
With a possibility
it
of high
says,
of-
with a possibility of 1,455 degrees Fahrenheit if the world does end today.
The fireballs from the sun come and smash us, as the Mayans
Yeah.
said. Mike, traffic?
Traffic. There's traffic. And no, I don't think we were supposed to get hit by a comet. Even with the Mayan, like, I
Mike,
don't understand.
not astrology, traffic.
Well, I just said there's traffic. There's always traffic.
Okay, that's the traffic report. Actually,
with the possibility of massive molten metal on 95 north and southbound.
yeah, actually,
Possibility
the
of
traffic
melting
is,
highways.
the traffic in South Florida is ridiculous. I mean, it's really, CJ, it's taken twice as long because all the snowbirds are down for Christmas, but that's okay. Spend your money here so that we don't have to pay income tax in Florida. That's one of the reasons why a lot of people live here. We want you to know that Peter Feynman, our good friend Peter Feynman, Feynman Law. Feynman Law is a law firm that if you need a mouthpiece, if you need a business attorney, if you need a good friend, Peter Feynman, Feynman Law, FEAMAN.com. Hey, IQ, can you stay over for a little more time on the next hour?
Sorry?
We have about 5 minutes left in this segment, then we take a little break. Can you stay over for another 20 minutes, 30 minutes or so?
Yeah, we have a lot of people calling up to talk to you.
Oh, my goodness. I'm lucky. Could I come in an hour after that?
On the
Because I've
last
got an
hour?
appointment. I mean, I can call you in another hour.
Yeah, we can
Yeah, and I
probably
want to
do
take.
that.
I want to challenge you on your 100,000. I think I can nail you. I
Believe
think
me,
I can
they
take
carry
you
me
up.
from here to eternity. I would love
I am going to take you up on your $100,000
Oh,
challenge. I'm feeling spunky today.
Mark has a challenge.
Good, good.
Well, we'll do
I'm so
it.
happy. Everybody is happy
fine.
that they're having, a gold mine coming down.
hey, Christmas is right around the corner. I think I can
Well,
take
let
it.
me take one quick call for you. Then we're going to take a break. Then you call back the hour afterwards, and Mark's going to challenge you. Our Mark in
Our
here on
very
Trento
own
Vision.
I think I
J.
got
Mark
it. I think I
Campbell.
got it.
If you got him, you got to split it with us, the $100,000.
Oh, yeah, of course. Then
I'm
he can
keeping it all
pay us.
myself.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
I want to know how we get it here. But
Okay.
we'll back
Don't worry
transfer.
about how to
Work that
get
out
it.
in the
I will
meantime.
send it to you personally.
All right, let's go
we
to the
please
next
go to
caller.
the-
I promise
yeah.
you, I'll fly to you. And
Okay.
Okay, next on the line we have Ruth Roman calling in. Ruth Roman is also known as Lipstick Pundit.
Hi, gang. How are you?
Hi.
Hey,
How are
Ruthie,
you,
how you
Ruth?
doing?
I wanted to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year before I forget.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, and Merry Christmas.
IQ is very fascinating. I've got a burning question for him. We have the Ten Commandments in our Christian Bible. Does the Quran have anything similar to it that
Oh, good
compares
question.
with
I
our
never
Ten
heard that.
Commandments?
Can you repeat that question, Tom?
Yeah, the question is, does the Christian Bible has the Ten Commandments, so does the Hebrew Bible. In fact, that's where it is in
Yes.
Exodus 20. And IQ, Ruth wants to know, does Islam have 10 Commandments?
no, I'll tell you what happened. Muhammad got confused between the 10 Commandments and the 10 plagues of Egypt. It's Allah from here to eternity. It's true. It is true.
It is
true. It's in the Quran, and he got it all mixed up. This is why Allah cannot possibly be God. He can't be that stupid. You know, you cannot have a God who is stupid, a God who contradicts himself, a God who doesn't know left from right. Allah is Muhammad. Every letter, I'll repeat it in slow motion. Every letter, every word, every verse, ayah, and every chapter in the Quran, surah, were never revealed to Muhammad by any God called Allah or any angel called Gabriel. Because each one of them are the product of Muhammad's imagination, the secretions of his warped mind, his alter ego, his autobiography, but very cleverly projected into the unsuspecting mouth of Allah and Gabriel to give them the aura of sanctity and divinity. Anybody wants to object, come against me, please.
Yeah, go
I
against
beg you.
him. Don't come after us.
No, they can come. I mean,
I like that. It's good.
no, yeah. Well, all right.
No, he's
hang
having
on,
fun with
because
that.
we're
Yeah, we're
coming
gonna
to
take
the
a
end
break,
here.
yeah.
Here's the interesting part.
Thank you, Ruth, by the way. That was a really good question.
Thank you, Ruth. Thank you very much.
Merry Christmas, Ruth. The interesting thing is, and I'll get into this in the third hour. I spent a good portion of my life debating Christianity and all of that in a professional way on college campuses, TV, radio, with virulent, angry, hateful people that hated Christians, hated me, and we would debate these things. And none of us ever killed each other. You know, they're lively, vigorous debates, but never, even in the minds of the people that hated me, the atheists and all that, never was there any physical effort to hurt me or anything like that. It was just an ideological battle here. But this guy, IQ, says stuff like this, and people want to kill him. That's why he's in hiding.
Right.
IQ, go do what you have to do. We'll see you in about 1 hour. Tom Trento, we're taking a short break. We'll be right back.
This is Steve Kane. For some time now, I've become concerned my memory is not what it used to be. Now, I know that a degree of memory loss is a natural part of the aging process, but as my lapses became more frequent, I began to worry this was something more serious. As my anxiety began to increase, I did a little research and found